There is a mass movement happening right now with people leaving the Bay Area, Los Angeles, and San Jose moving south right here to San Diego, all because I'm hearing people saying this is the smartest move for lifestyle, family, and long-term value. That is why today I'm gonna break down who's actually making the move to San Diego and why they're trading some of this big city chaos for coastal charm, how San Diego delivers better value, often equal or just cheaper overall compared to some of these high-priced metros, and what makes San Diego unforgettable, from the emerging food scene to year-round sunshine, trails, and cleaner neighborhoods. Hey guys, my name is Nick, a top real estate advisor here in San Diego, and every single week I'm helping people relocate from a lot of these metro areas that I just mentioned, and we're using things like data, stories, and real insight to help guide them into the right neighborhood for their next chapter. So in this video, I'm really gonna lay into it and talk about what I'm seeing along with a lot of the data out there and why people are realistically moving from these areas right here to San Diego and why delaying this decision might mean you'll miss out. Let's get into it. So let's start off with some of the data and the inbound migration here to San Diego, because that once big exodus of a lot of these California hotspots has really turned back towards San Diego. And the numbers are really not lying right now. San Diego is now among the top in-state destination for Californians seeking a better balance of lifestyle and value. And even in a recent migration report, San Diego ranked second only to Los Angeles when it came to search interest from people looking to move into these California metros. So this shows that the city is really just a primary choice for both people that already live in California and people beyond the state. And not to say that San Diego is cheap by any means, a lot of these high-cost metros are seeing a lot of their residents leave. Areas like Los Angeles, you have the Bay Area, including San Jose and San Francisco, is consistently leading in outbound moves, and it really highlights San Diego's role in taking in a lot of these recipients as we see this shift happen. Now, it is no doubt that California has a really big imbalance when it comes to housing supply right now, especially in a lot of these coastal metro areas like the Bay Area, which just creates an upward pressure on home prices, and it prompts residents to reconsider more livable markets, just like here in San Diego. And I'm not saying San Diego doesn't have a housing crisis as well, because we definitely have a housing shortage. But from what I'm hearing from people, the Bay Area and some parts of Los Angeles are seeing this even more. And while San Diego County is relatively still very expensive, the median home price hovers right around $910,000, and nearly 60% of our listings exceed that $1 million price point. But it's still showing signs of being a much more accessible alternative to a lot of these pricier areas, like up in the Bay Area or Los Angeles, San Jose, all those areas like that. But Nick, what does all this data mean? Well, the first thing is the momentum is just starting to build. I still think San Diego is very early on in this migration trend, and San Diego is just capturing much more attention these past few years, not just from outsiders, but from Californians seeking smarter living, not just affordable, but balanced overall. And it's really important to understand where these newcomers are coming from and what they actually value, because that's going to help us anticipate which neighborhoods are going to grow in demand. And I'm going to share some insight in a second here on just a lot of advantages and what I'm hearing from people moving down here literally every single week from some of these other metros. And I'm really starting to see that people don't think San Diego is just another ordinary California city. It's really becoming the state's lifestyle hub. Remote work and hybrid jobs have really given people freedom to choose where they want to live, and San Diego keeps checking the boxes that the Bay Area and LA can't. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty and talk about why people are moving to San Diego from a lot of these metros that I just mentioned. And even just last week alone, I got about 7 phone calls from people that are saying, hey Nick, we're moving down there in the next 6 months to a year. I've been dealing with that for a long time and getting a lot of that clientele moving from other parts of California for years now. But over the past, I'd say 6 months to a year, it has really picked up. So I'm gonna go over the 5 things that is coming up in every conversation on why they're taking their search down here. First one being jobs and the remote work flexibility. Many of the Bay Area and Los Angeles professionals now work remotely, or they work hybrid, where they go in the office maybe 2 or 3 times a week. In San Diego, it seems to offer them the chance to keep that California level pay while enjoying a little bit lower cost of living down here in San Diego. And San Diego just has a really strong job basis when it comes to things like tech, biotech, defense, research, medicine. So it makes it a really stable alternative to a lot of areas in Silicon Valley or maybe the LA's entertainment economy. And I can't tell you how many people reach out that actually are relocating here for a hybrid job that work at either Google or Apple. It is just very astonishing to me, and it's picked up over the past couple months. Another one is lifestyle and climate. San Diego is already ranked among the top 15 cities for quality of life here in the US. And thanks to our wonderful mild year-round weather and our coastal access, it makes it a hotspot that people are constantly coming down for. People just want to have that real beach life. We have some really clean and beautiful beaches down here. And we have a ton, I mean a ton of trail systems along with parks that are so accessible throughout San Diego County. And they're there for the taking year-round because our weather is just very perfect for that type of outdoor lifestyle. And I think it makes it a lot more appealing than some of the more congested areas with their outdoor lifestyle, like in Los Angeles, or even some of the hotter inland metros. This next one is huge to look at, which is going to be its cost advantage for some of these other California cities. And San Diego's cost of living is about 24% less than San Jose and 10% lower than Los Angeles. And I hear this all the time. And even during pandemic times where actually prices were a lot less here, people are literally saying from Los Angeles County and Bay Area, I am surprised how much more I can get for my dollar currently in San Diego County. Like, I can get space, I can still be close to the beach for that price. So it's a huge factor. Now, don't get me wrong, because San Diego housing is still incredibly expensive, but a lot of these savings are attracting more people from these higher price metros. Communities, schools, and healthcare. This is a huge draw when it comes to pretty much every demographic, from individuals to families to retirees. Families are drawn here to San Diego for those three reasons, especially the public school systems down here. We have some really highly rated school districts like Poway Unified School District, San Diego Union High School District, and Carlsbad School District, just to name a few. A lot of parents from these other metros that I've already talked about are saying that's a huge factor of it. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I can get a house at this price and not have to get my kids into a private school. They can be a part of the public school system. So it's really cool and interesting to hear that. And for a little extra security for retirees and families, we have some world-class healthcare systems here, everything from UCSD Health to Scripps Health. The amount of hospitals we have in San Diego are top notch. I swear you're always going to be 10, 15 minutes away from a very renowned hospital. Another big thing is the cultural growth here. San Diego's food scene and nightlife has expanded rapidly over the years, and it's ranked as one of the most exciting dining cities on the entire West Coast in the recent years. And my favorite part is, it doesn't matter where you live. You can live in North County, San Diego, you can live in Central San Diego, you can live in South Bay or downtown. You will have an endless amount of options just all around you. So what does all that mean to me, especially when I'm having conversations with people that are actually making this move down here? Well, the first one is, it means people are not just saving money, they're actually gaining a different quality of life here. So it really just seems like San Diego's lifestyle is the main differentiator between all those other metros. And especially as a lot of this hybrid work becomes to be the new normal, San Diego is going to continue to attract a lot of these high income earners who don't need to necessarily live in Los Angeles or the Bay Area. And it's pretty wild. I've had people reaching out from the Bay Area, Los Angeles, and even Sacramento lately, all saying the same thing. We're done with it here. San Diego just feels so different. So if that's you and you're looking to make a move down here, or even just have a conversation, shoot us a text, give us a call, or just shoot us an email, whatever you want to do. Or if you're still really early on in this search and exploring things, scan the QR code right here for my relocation guide. I think that'll be super helpful for you too. So where are they moving to within San Diego? And it's really important to note that when everybody's moving to San Diego, doesn't mean they're moving directly to the beach. Different groups are targeting different neighborhoods, and it's really driven by things like school, lifestyle, and the affordability. The first key destination is going to be North County Coastal. This is going to be areas like Carlsbad, Encinitas, Oceanside, and it's been really popular with families and professionals who really just want those top schools and beach proximity. And I feel like the biggest draw over here is that coastal beach lifestyle. You're gonna have good schools, and it's relatively less dense than a lot of the central San Diego areas. Median prices in those three spots that I just mentioned are really going to vary. In Carlsbad, the median home value is right at about $1,575,000, while Encinitas is on the higher end at about $1,817,000, and then Oceanside being one of the best values in my opinion, coming in at about $875,000. Another destination has been the central urban areas like North Park, Hillcrest, downtown San Diego, and this really attracts a lot of young professionals and remote workers who want that walkability, they want culture, and they want nightlife. And the food scene momentum in a lot of those central areas that I just mentioned are popping off lately. Now, those central areas are going to be a lot more dense. You got smaller homes, but I will say some of these these homes have so much character in Central San Diego. Historic homes, completely restorated homes, just some beautiful homes. Now, the median home prices down here, especially in North Park, are going to be right at about $942,000, while Hillcrest comes in at about $873,000, and downtown San Diego at about $675,000. Another big draw has been the South Bay. This is areas like Chula Vista, Otay Ranch, East Lake. This has been really popular for young families looking for those newer homes at lower prices than the coastal areas. And I feel like the biggest draw is those master plan communities. You have some very good schools down there, and you're gonna get more space per dollar. The median home price down in Chula Vista right now is right at about $822,000, while Otay Ranch is about $762,000, and East Lake coming in at about $755,000. And if you're okay with being a little bit inland where temperatures are a little bit warmer, North County Inland is going to be a top destination as well. You got some great areas like San Marcos, Poway, Escondido, and this has been a strong draw for families that are really prioritizing schools and affordability relative to some of these coastal areas. San Marcos median sale price right now is right at about $970,000, while Poway comes in a little bit higher at about $1,275,000, and Escondido comes in at about $841,000. And when it comes to high net worth movers or retirees looking for more of a prestige life, some of these coastal core markets that are a little bit more luxury, like La Jolla, Del Mar, Coronado, are going to be a great fit because you have this world-class lifestyle in areas like this, prestige, and great access to coastal amenities. Prices are definitely going to be a bit higher, with La Jolla median home price being at about $2,460,000, Del Mar coming in at about $2,350,000, and Coronado coming in at an even $2 million. And you guys might be thinking, holy smokes, that is a lot of different areas that I have no idea about. That's okay, because right here on our channel, we have hundreds of videos pretty much breaking down every single one of these areas and giving you real local insight. So feel free to cruise through there. That is what they're there for. Now, let's take this to the next level and talk about market impacts and considerations, because San Diego is still a very desirable market, but it is evolving. There's just more choices right now, a little more negotiation room, and duty for both buyers and sellers to navigate a little more smart. There still is some competitiveness and some hot markets here in San Diego. And even in July 2025, the sale to list ratio was about 98.7%, meaning a lot of homes sold just slightly under their asking price on average. And a lot of the most sought after homes, we'll call it, still sold in one weekend with multiple bids. And especially those super hot listings, you know, I want you to think about coastal locations, really top rated schools, clean, consistent neighborhoods. These are still selling over asking price with multiple bids. And I want people to understand that there's a lot of homes that are sitting on the market for 2, 3, 4 weeks, sometimes 2 months, and people are scared to go look at them when they honestly love the house and the photos. Don't shy away from that stuff. That is where the most seller motivation is always going to be. So get out there and see if it's just a matter of pricing. Now let's talk a little bit about inventory, because there is more home options and there's longer listing periods right now, and listings are just increasing. Detached home inventory rose about 23%, and attached homes, condos, and townhomes jumped at about 40% year over year. So really, days on market are noticeably longer now. I'm talking anywhere from 30 to 40% higher than they were this time last year. But again, there is seller motivation out there. That's why I'm saying if you go after the listings that have been on for longer, you're gonna have a lot more room to negotiate. We're also seeing about 40% of listings right now do a pricing reduction. And all that means to me is buyers are more price sensitive than ever. So pricing right out of the gate is so important, and buyers are not dumb these days, and they will literally wait and see what happens, while the ones that are priced and presented right from the very beginning, those are the ones that get the multiple bids and they sell over asking in just a weekend. And interest rates are having one of the biggest effects on our market right now, with the 30-year fix sitting right at about 6.7% at the moment. Yes, they've gone down a little bit over the past year, but as we start to see these rates come down, that's where we're going to start to see a little bit more buyers enter the market. So San Diego's migration story is pretty crystal clear. A lot of people are leaving these pricier California cities and choosing San Diego for its balance of lifestyle and value. And it means a few different things, whether you're a buyer, seller, and investor. If you're a buyer, you're not fighting 20 offers these days. You have a lot more homes to choose from and leverage to negotiate, especially on condos and stale listings. But if you do want that turnkey house in, let's say, Carlsbad, Encinitas, or Poway, be ready to act quickly. And keep in mind, with 40% of homes dropping their prices, leverage is back. You can negotiate harder. Some of the best negotiations for my buyers right now have happened in the past couple months than in the past couple years, especially on those listings that are stale, that have been on the market for more than 30 days. And condos, especially right now, there's more inventory, more options with that, so you can negotiate a lot better. But my biggest tip for buyers is move fast for those A+ homes, meaning have all your ducks in a row, have your financing ready to go, know which neighborhoods you want, be ready, because some of these homes are still selling within 2 weeks. And if you're a seller, price strategically. The days of list high and wait for offers are long gone. Overpricing is just going to lead to frustration, price cuts, and just lost momentum. And if you have a detached home, the prices have been pretty resilient, up about 4.7% year over year, just showing that families and relocators are still fueling demand when it comes to single family homes. And I can't stress this one enough, presentation is key, especially with more inventory. Gone are the days of iPhone photos, not staging, not deep cleaning the house. Any of that stuff is just not gonna fly these days. Buyers are extremely choosy, and homes that show well are going to command top dollar and can even still sell above the list price. And last but not least, if you're an investor, the rising supply in condos and townhomes right now is certainly something to watch, because this is going to be a great opportunity if you are looking for long-term rental play or just a long-term hold. Condos and townhomes right now are generally softing here in San Diego right now. Prices are down about 7% year over year, which could mean a great entry point if you really understand these areas and understand the rents that these can command, especially if our rental demand continues to stay strong, which it will, because San Diego just has constant in-migration. We have limited new housing, not to mention a lot of our housing is just too expensive for people to go buy. So it just adds to a really strong rental market. So maybe moving to San Diego sounds easy. In reality, I think it's not an easy move. But if you're thinking about moving or relocating down here to San Diego County, we help people all the time make smarter decisions when they move down here. Everything from neighborhoods to figuring out your budget, schools, all that stuff. That is what we are here for. All of my information is right there down below. So if you need guidance or you need help, just reach out. We're happy to help. And I also have a video right here that you might find helpful as well.